Connie from the dev team as well. So you got myself, those two, and you've got Andre, who's hiding in the back as well, who's part of the brand team here in the US. And I'm going to take you through a presentation about PES 18, but you can ask us all any questions. The dev team can take them in English because Akane will translate, and Andre can take Portuguese and Spanish for you guys as well. So, to start off with, PES 2018 is a huge, huge game for us. I mean, I'm sure you know I'm going to say that. But more importantly is that over the past 3 years, the team have worked extremely hard to make the game something new, something different. So what you'll see in PES 2018 is the biggest change to the PES series since we brought PES 2015 to the PS4 and Xbox One. What that means is PES 15, 16 and 17 were kind of linked. They were improved, better visuals, better animations, similar kind of gameplay feel. PES 2018 is like it's been cut from a different cloth. It's a fresh take and a fresh experience, while still feeling like PES. It's something that we believe. We still look back as fans as well on the PST days, PES 6, and we still feel that that had a certain level of quality that haven't been able to reach really. And I think with PES 18 we have finally surpassed that. And one really important thing is that we made such a huge, huge change to PES because we want to lay down a new foundation. We're building for the future. This is part of a new 3-year project for us in many ways. So we're sort of working with Fox still, really unlocking its potential of what it can do for us, and whole new systems that the dev team have worked really hard over the past 3 years to make the game seem massively different. So just to give you a brief overview, on the 17th of May, we announced the release date of the 12th in North, Central and South America, and worldwide for the 14th. Formats there is the same as last year as well: PS4, Xbox One, Steam, PS3 and 360. We'll talk about Steam a little bit later as well. So for the E3 announcements then, this morning we released a very surprising trailer, and I'm going to show that for you now. Hopefully.
Pre-order now and get me in my club.
So that's crazy, right? I mean, that is something that kind of happened naturally. We were at a football match and some of his people were there and we got talking. Who are you? I work on PES. Who are you? I'm Bolt's agent. Oh, that's cool. We should get him in the game. Yeah, we should. A few weeks later, we're talking about it, sat around a table. I mean, some of you might know that Bolt is really keen to start a football career when he finishes his racing career, I think next month. He's got one more race left. And it was just a conversation, and it just made so much sense. And it was about the passion as well. I mean, seriously, when you sort of sign players, you sign endorsements, there's big sort of contracts, and you pay them a lot of money to say what you want them to say. But this was more about, first and foremost, he wanted to be in the game, he wanted to be a footballer, that's his passion. And then all talk of fee or expectation came secondary. He was really keen to get into the game. second announcement is not so much the surprise that we have Diego Maradona in the game, because we had him in last year, was more to sort of inform you that this is the start of more legends coming to PES. Last year we had over 30 legends. That was through team partnerships. And this year we're going to take the same approach, but also go out and get people individually. But what's really important moving on from here, you'll get a lot more announcements of legend players. But we're talking about the top of the top. And you'll hear about them in the next few months. So, the other really big announcement here at E3 is that we're doing an online beta. This is for the first time, I think in around 7 years. And the key focus for us is to improve the online. This is not a marketing tool. This is not for you to go and play it and judge it and then pre-order. This is for you guys and for the fans to help us. Because we do understand that the online quality of PES hasn't been consistent throughout the world. So we're using this beta where you can play 3v3 with your friends or a quick match on the PS4 and Xbox One, and we're going to take that data and we are going to do a day one patch for PES 2018, which will be focused on improving the online service, what we find from running the beta as well. And then following E3, something really cool for the fans and for the press as well, is that we're going to be conducting the world tour. So in Europe, straight after E3 next week, we're going to be travelling around, and also in Latin America from early August. This gives the press an opportunity to also capture the game as well. So, back to May 17th when we announced PES, we announced 7 really important features. I've been here now for like 3 years now talking about PES, and the only thing I usually talk to you guys about is gameplay. And I think we all know PES is known for the gameplay. So it's really nice to finally come to a show and gameplay be one of the things I speak about, and I have 6 more things to let you know about. So the first one, the focus will always be gameplay. This is what PES is known for. Number 2, I mentioned working with Fox and really improving the visuals. PES League is our esports competition, and we're bringing that into the game in a variety of new ways. We have online co-op, which I'll talk about. Aside from the gameplay, we really needed to have new modes and improve the modes as well, so you can play PES in a variety of ways. We've really improved the presentation. And finally as well, something that's really important, I guess to be expected, but really, really key for us, is to bring the PC version up to the level of the new consoles, and even better. So I'm happy to say, right behind you, we have 2 PC stations, and this year we're working very, very closely with NVIDIA and their GeForce tech, and we can showcase the game right there with their tech, and it looks absolutely fantastic. So, gameplay is the focus, and we'll start there. Here's what you're going to feel and experience when you actually play the game. So the first thing that we've completely done is we've changed the dribbling. It's the feeling of the player and the ball, how you move. More touches, how you can move, and the feeling of differences between the players. You'll feel the deeper control with the likes of Neymar and Messi, and the burst away and the pace. Not so fast maybe, but the Iniestas who are a little bit smaller, and they can turn away from those players as well. And it's a massive difference, because last year it was a set animation per player, per movement, and now it's completely changed. This is really key as well. We've brought in this something that we're calling auto protect, and it's where the player recognises when he has the ball, when someone's coming in, and he'll move across and get in the way. And it's really intelligent, and it allows those slow but big players to be useful, and also the smaller ones who have a really good body balance can still have an opportunity to avoid being clattered by a really big defender. Full body touch is something that we brought in last year. This is part of the real touch. Now again, it's all about the individuality of the players. So here you can see Neymar taking a touch in his own unique way, and you'll see different players being able to control it in different ways based on the ability, but also based on where the ball hits them, whether it's the chest or the thigh. Part of Real Touch as well, which is linked to the auto protect, is the players being aware when they're off the ball where the opposition is. So if you've got a ball coming up, you will hold and pin the defender back in certain situations. Obviously, if the defender is a lot bigger than you, he will manage to get around you. But overall, this is a brand new feature in the game, which allows you to build using really big and strong strikers. Something that's really important to the game is actually the pace and making it feel slower and much more realistic. And what's really helped us with that is the realistic ball physics. So we always add in every year more and more and more. And this year it's been focused on making them as slow as possible, making it react, ricochet much more accurately. New set pieces. One of the key things that the fans wanted us to change was to remove the guideline, and we've taken that away. But even with that, I feel like you've got so much more control than you had before. So just by tapping in the right stick, you can change the view from high and low, and it gives you a really good camera angle. Same with the penalties as well. We've changed this. The closest thing that I can liken it to right now is probably back to the PST days, where it's all about the player ability that you are controlling. So someone like Messi can strike a really full power towards the bottom corner, and it's more likely to go in even if the keeper goes the right way. If you are aiming for the corners high, it's probably going to go over. So it's that risk-reward system, but the most important thing is that it makes sense, and it's really easy to control and master. Obviously, I'm sure you guys have seen that as well. The one-player kickoff is in, and you can change it to 2 players on the fly with some button presses. So, I thought about the visuals, and this is really important for us. We really have to make PES look a lot better. And I think this has been one of the major weaknesses when we've come to the PS4 and Xbox One, and now obviously on Steam as well, is making the game look fantastic. And I think this is the biggest difference when you first look at PES. It's not a case of me telling you it looks better. You'll notice it straight away if you compare it 17, 18. Whereas again, 15, 16, 17, you can see it looks a little bit better, but this is a different world. We've completely changed the player models, so you'll see them to be more athletic, realistic. The short sizes are better, the tighter shirts, things like that, so it looks fantastic. The animation system has been really important to PES this year, and again, one of the biggest differences. Usually we have a few hundred motions going into the game. This year it's about completely changing the base layer. So what that means is how the player walks, how he turns, off the ball things, which just give you a completely different look to the game. Facial emotion is really cool as well. You'll want to pause the game at certain times. They'll have a different expression depending on what's going on. If they're holding the player off, if they just get fouled or tackled, or if they're very happy and they've scored a goal. But you'll see the expression change. This is the first time we've actually worked on it in PES as well. We spent a lot of time and effort, and it looks absolutely fantastic. The goalkeepers are really important, as you know. More animations, much more AI logic, more aware and urgency of situations, but just baseline animation is just super cool. How they carry the ball out, throw it. If I want to pass it to you and I've got defenders here, he'll do this. You know, it's just really cool to see. Real world visuals. So early this year, we actually went around to Barcelona, Anfield, and we actually did a full 3D capture of the stadium. Not only the pitch, but also the actual, stadium area, the tunnels, the changing rooms as well. So we are going to be doing that for a lot of our partner teams as well. So we've done Barcelona and Dortmund, and we're going to do Anfield. And we're going to be moving on when we announce some more partnership teams later in the year. We'll be doing those as well. I mentioned the locker rooms and the mix zones as well, so leading from the changing rooms onto the pitch as well is going to be captured. The crowd are fantastic, and you'll see them in the game as well when you score those goals. they react to what's going on. They look absolutely amazing now, and it's really, really key, especially when you're talking about emulating that, Champions League atmosphere. I mentioned the sort of presentation elements, and we've got some new HUD elements here. So when you are, say, you just take a shot, it'll pop up with some real life images of the stats of the players, how many shots they made, and things like that. It's just more of a broadcast feel. So I mentioned about the PES gameplay and all the on-the-pitch stuff, but where PES has been lacking over the years is just being able to have options, how you can play with your friends, different modes and things like that. So what we brought in first of all is new online co-op. This is 3v3 to 2v2, and this is across a variety of modes, most importantly PES League as well. So you can play with your friends in the competition, and you can see there how it calculates stats for you guys. I think this is really important, because if I'm being honest with you, I think if I have a room of people here and maybe you three love PES and you guys play FIFA, you might want to play PES, but if all these guys are playing FIFA, you might feel like, well, I'm going to play with my friends. So we have to bring everyone together. I think we have to convince everybody together. It's not about just convincing one here and there. We truly believe PES is the best game. But, there's so many people to convince that we feel like this is a great way to do it. When it comes to PES League as well, just a month ago, we gave away a lot of money to the guy in the centre, $200,000 at the Champions League final, and that was the runner-up on the left and third place on the right. We're taking esports super seriously, so what we're doing with the PES League this year is we're integrating the 3v3, My Club, and also we are bringing in stat balancing as well. What this means is that if you support a team that isn't, Barcelona, you can still play with them against Barcelona, and everyone will have the same set stats. So you can play with the team you support. When it comes to My Club as well, I mentioned it's now in PES League, which I think is really, really key. We're doing some more things with the scout auction as well, and really importantly, we are bringing in co-op, which means me and you can have our own My Club team and just play online or play offline together. Master League, really important for the fans as well, this sort of offline experience, being the manager. We're bringing in huge pre-season tournaments, a ton of cutscenes, a brand new transfer system as well. There's a lot to announce with the Master League going forward. Random selection match, this is back in the PES 6 days where you pick 3 random teams and it'll give you a selection of players from there as well. So we're bringing it back with a little bit of a twist. We've got this trade system where you can fight for each player or block the guy from signing your player as well. But this is a huge request from our fans who really wanted this mode back. And again, I think the presentation in PES really needs a lot of work, and we've done a hell of a lot of work when it comes to the menus and the flow. And one thing that I think helps as well is by adding the real player images, and you'll see that across all the game plan and the micro modes as well. And obviously, this is E3, the game is coming out in September. We've still got a ton of things to announce. So the cover that you've seen right now is not the final cover. We've still got to announce the demo day. We've got a ton of PES ambassadors to announce. I mentioned legend players. Licenses is always a big topic, and we've got so many cool things to announce moving forward. Special edition of the game is going to be announced in the coming weeks. Partnerships with the biggest teams in the world are to be announced soon as well. And PES League, which I mentioned is extremely important to us, will be announcing more on that at Gamescom. So to finish off with then, I'm not sure if you guys seen it, but we did have an E3 trailer as well, and I'll show you that now.